Hello folks, welcome back to another garage video. As some of you may have seen, I did have a previous video before I got the mod plate, but I decided to delete that and re-upload with the mod plate on the car, explain what's involved in that, and also some things I've changed and done since the last video. So right, so since you've seen last, I have put the new seat in, which is a Bride Stradia. Stand by, I'll get a torch. So it's an Alcantara seat, it's adjustable, it's legal. Yeah, it's pretty good. I've put the new seat belt in, which is better than the orange one, which they gave me that was too long. But this seat is quite nice, holds me in pretty well. I do like it. It's a bit hard to get it in and out of because of the supports that it's got, but that's okay. However, in Queensland, when you change a seat like this, you do need to get a mod plate, or also known as a modification plate, and I'll show you what that is. And that is one of these. So they add it to your car, and it basically just says the mod that you've done is legal and been checked by a mechanic that is qualified to say that everything's been installed properly, blah blah blah. However, it's not just for seats. It can apply to other things like engine conversions, aspiration conversions, suspension conversions, like doing a 4-link or 9-inch rear end, or complete changes that aren't just like putting putting ADR approved shocks in or something simple like that. However, today I learned something extra. So normally this stays in my glove box, which is just a little thing I keep my paperwork in and manual and stuff for the car. And I got some paperwork today, which I got from the mod plate guys. I paid $160 for my mod plate. I know you can get them cheaper. However, because I live rurally and it's kind of the only option I had where I live, yeah, I didn't really have an option. But they did tell me I had to go, when you do put a seat in, what you need to acquire is what's called an ADR certificate for your seat, so that they can use this on the records to say that the seat is legal and safe to use, and not some like cheap Chinese thing. But they also give you a certificate of modification for your seat, or whatever modification you're doing. It doesn't have to be a seat. And I was told I had to go hand this into the Department of Transport. So after I got my modification plate today, which is why I've got 2 copies of it, I went into the Department of Transport, and they weren't interested in keeping this. They were only interested in if I'd changed the seating capacity of the car, and they had nothing to do with it. I said, oh, okay, no worries. Thank you very much. And then I thought, oh, I better double check. So I called, I drove up the road and I thought, oh, I'll call the local police station and ask them about it, and if they want the paperwork themselves. So I called them up and they said, no, we don't need your paperwork, blah, blah, blah. As long as it's all approved, it should already be on your registration for the car. I said, oh, okay, cool. And then she said, but however, just keep the paperwork in your car just in case if you get pulled over and a police officer isn't too sure about your modification plate or whatever, but then you've got the paperwork there to provide proof that everything is in fact legal. So that's a thing. No, I'm not sure if that applies to other modification. This is the first mod plate I've ever had to get. I'm not sure if that applies to other things, if the Department of Transport wants it for like major suspension conversions and engine conversions and things like that. However, on my old Supra, I did do an engine conversion from a 7MGE to a GTE, and I didn't need anything for that, but that was a very long time ago. I'm not sure if the laws have changed since then. So the best bet is just to go onto the website and just double check, see what you need, and just try and do it the right way so you don't get harassed by the police too much. Anyway, on another note, I have recently got a carbon fibre hand brake cover and carbon fibre gear sticks around and ashtray cover. I got that a while ago, but I hadn't put it in. But that does look very nice in there. I might just, yeah, I'll get the torch, hang on. Yeah, so that makes it look a fair bit more modern, which is nice. Matches the carbon fibre door sills I got a long time ago. And yeah, what else have I done? I changed the Diff Oil today. I'm trying something new. I did use with my Cusco 1.5 way RS LSD, the Penrite Pro gear. This was the last oil I used in it. It's been in there for, I think, about 5 to 7,000 Ks. I can't remember. I'd have to look at my list. But I found it was getting really aggressive, especially when it was cold. So now I've changed to a thinner oil, the Newlon 80W90, which is API GL5 approved, which is what Cusco's oil is, but they do two grades, the 8090 and the 140, 80W40, sorry. So I just put that in today. So apparently this is a lot better for street use, and this is more for track use if you're drifting. And I thought that's what I needed, but it's been a real pain in the ass to drive around when the gear oil is cold because it's so thick, and the diff is very, very aggressive. It's almost like having a locker. So hopefully this change will make it a bit more street friendly. I'll do a video about that later, or I'll just comment on this video after I drive it and see if it has made much of a difference. Yeah, I haven't really changed a whole lot else in the car. Everything's legal now, so yeah, I mean, as always for the last few years, all I need is some good tyres and suspension, and hopefully I'll do a track day soon. I am going to the Australian National Supra meet mid this year. I'll take my car no matter what condition it's in, and that should be pretty interesting. That's down in New South Wales somewhere, not Coffs Harbour, I can't remember. You'd have to look it up on the Queensland Supra Facebook page. But that should be pretty good. I've never been to one before, even though I've been in the Supra Club for 19, 20 years. But anyway, so that should be a fun time. I'll try and get some video of that. And hopefully before then I'll have some suspension and tyres, like I always say, but never know. Life gets in the way. What else have I done? I did I did clean the air filter, re-oiled that. I can't remember if I mentioned that in the last video. I did change the line for the boost controller and got rid of that broken. I put a nice 50 psi thick hose on there to the wastegate, and I got rid of that filter that was all cracked. So it's been hitting about 13 psi, maybe a bit less. I still need to retune the boost controller. So yeah, it's been pretty good. I did have a little issue with it hitting a weird kind of boost cut, but it wasn't boost cut. It was like a hard limiter at about $5.5 grand. but I hadn't driven it in months, and then I drove it to the Gold Coast and back. So in the last week, I've probably put 600 kilometers on it, and now it's just driving fine again. It might have been because of the fuel. I did change the fuel filter as well. That's another thing. So the fuel filter I had on there, it's been on there for quite a while. I think about 50, 60,000 Ks. I should have changed it earlier. It was just one of those things I overlooked. But the fuel filter is actually down under the passenger side, behind the front wheel, pretty much straight down there. And I think I was using a Ryco filter, but it was unlabeled because it was an older one. It was, maybe about 7 years old, that filter. And I bought a cheaper version, Westfill, from Super Cheap fuel filter, which actually has about, I'd say, a millimeter and a half bigger inlet hole to the filter. So I'm hopefully getting better flow and not putting as much stress on my fuel pump with the return system. So it's been driving really well. It starts better now. When I undid the old pump, it was a bit dirty when the old fuel dropped out of it. It wasn't too bad, but it does start a lot quicker now. So that's nice. The Westfill cheap filters, made in Australia, seems to work fine for me. And I'm currently using, I did change the oil, and I'm using a Gulf Western fully synthetic oil at the moment, and it's been fantastic. It's fine for like half the price of Penrite. I used to be the biggest Penrite fanboy, so I just thought I'd try something different, because why not? And I change my oil that often, it doesn't matter. But yeah, otherwise pretty good. I'll keep you guys updated on how the diff goes with the thinner oil and a fresh service. So yeah, until next time, thanks for watching, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.